Long live the king.
If you enjoyed today's editorial, then please consider supporting the channel by liking the video, subscribing to the channel, and pledging support on Patreon. Links below in the description box. Welcome back to the channel, folks. Toho, the legendary Japanese company that holds the rights to Godzilla and the gatekeepers to the Monsterverse, technically. It's long been rumoured what would happen with the Monsterverse after 2021, when the rights deal between Legendary and Toho was stated to end. I, myself, have produced several editorials on the topic, and today we had some major news that has led me to creating another editorial. As a brief recap for those that haven't seen any of my other videos, the initial Toho Legendary licensing deal was stated to end in 2021. There are several grey areas surrounding this deal that has led to massive speculation from the fanbase about the future of the Monsterverse. Take the initial statement itself. Legendary stated that they have the rights, and it was actually only their intention to produce one movie, or at least the agreement they had come to with Toho was for one film, which then expanded further with the announcement of Kong Skull Island and the announcement of a cinematic universe, which would become known as the Monsterverse. And then later, we would hear that Toho, the owners of the rights to Godzilla, planned to create their own cinematic universe. Coincidentally, the same time that the rights deal is due to end, 2021. Toho's Keiji Ota stated, "After 2021, we're thinking of a potential strategy that releases Godzilla movies uninterrupted at a rate of every 2 years. Although there is a preference for a yearly pace as well, the future of the series and its forwarding developments are very conscious of the method of shared universe. Godzilla, Mothra, King Ghidorah, etc. could all share a singular world view, much like a Marvel movie where Iron Man and the Hulk can cross over with each other. Shin Godzilla was a huge hit, but instead of thinking of doing the obvious idea of making a Shin Godzilla 2, instead think about a world that can be used for a long time. I'd rather make a world of Godzilla." And then we flash forward. Lately, we have heard some reports from set visits that the producers of Godzilla King of the Monsters have had hope for future movies after Godzilla vs. Kong, which, again, muddies the water even further on the future. They seem to indicate that if the movies did very well, then they would be able to continue the universe, and if they did not, then they would not be continuing. The major update, however, comes today, and it's been revealed that Toho have invested huge amounts of money into their American subsidiary company. It is a Los Angeles based company that for the time being has only actually been involved in real estate. However, the announcement of investment in the American based subsidiary company is interesting because it is stated that the investment itself is part of Toho's Toho Vision 2021, a mid-term management plan that hinges on foreign collaborations and co-productions. Now, this plan is to leverage Toho properties into Hollywood and build partnerships with major Hollywood production companies. Godzilla King of the Monsters is, of course, part of this plan, but this is the first major investment and essentially any movement Toho has made in the subsidiary company, really, since it was established back in 1953. It would seem that Toho invested around $138 million into the company. Now, this is not a small amount of money by any means, but it is small by comparison to movies. The announcement itself, however, stipulates that this is all part and parcel of this Toho Vision 2021 initiative. leading one to speculate that this is the first in many major investments Toho will be making. And again, this is no coincidence, and I believe this is a clear indication of what the future may hold. The most recent comments made by the producers of King of the Monsters was very telling. It seemed to contradict Toho's own statements previously about them essentially moving forwards and creating their own MCU but with Godzilla. It was thought that the deal simply ended in 2021. However, this seems to suggest that there is definitely room for negotiations between the two companies. There was some rumours before that Toho were able to produce their own Godzilla movies alongside the Western films in the Monsterverse. However, as with all things business between studios, getting clarification on this has not been easy. So let's just say, for argument's sake, that Toho's statement was accurate. They absolutely are planning their own cinematic universe. And, for argument's sake, let's say that the statement of Toho being able to produce these movies alongside the Western ones is again completely accurate. What is Toho doing investing massive amounts of money in a company they haven't touched since 1953? Especially as the investment is directly associated to this co-production vision that they have planned out. Could this be Toho setting themselves up in Los Angeles on a more permanent basis due to the success of Godzilla? I think so. We already know that Toho has had to sign off on everything Legendary created for the Godzilla universe. This micromanagement is 100% understandable, as they want their property handled with care. But it also means that they were hands-on with the production, far more so than we had previously thought, and as such, they could now believe that they have some sense of what the Western market wants in a Godzilla film. Then, the investment in the subsidiary company, and Toho co-producing films as part of their Toho vision. To me, it indicates that Toho are setting up shop in LA, in Los Angeles. They will renegotiate the deal come 2021, and they will then work alongside Legendary on a more permanent basis. Plus, also working on their own Godzilla universe back in Japan. Now, if we follow these breadcrumbs, this is a logical conclusion to come to. The initial statement from Legendary was for one film, which then expanded further into Kong and then King of the Monsters. Success and money has of course been the driving factor here, and that's understandable. These movie studios are a business. Movies are business. Toho and Legendary have clearly left the table open for further negotiations based on the profits and reception of that initial movie. Now, Toho have been incredibly vague about the future of the property under their own house, but they have stated that they would like a universe of their own. The producers of King of the Monsters have hinted that if the movie does well, they can create more in the universe. Now, we have this huge investment in Toho's LA company. Movement on a company that Toho really have not touched since they created it in 1953. And again, a clear change in direction for the subsidiary company that until now has only been dealing with real estate. Now this $138 million investment is directly associated with them doing the co-productions. So again, I say that this is a fairly normal conclusion and a logical conclusion to come to. But again, this is all speculation, based off the events at hand, and as always, in the ever-changing landscape of films and studios, this could be something which we never see, as the profits from King of the Monsters could lead to the discussion table being closed off. However, as always, it makes for an interesting discussion and an editorial. As always though, please do leave your thoughts down below in the comment section. If you are new here and you enjoyed this editorial deep dive, then please do hit subscribe, and to stay notified of all my future content, crush that bell notification icon. As I said at the start of this video, you can support me in making the very best editorials in sci-fi and horror by supporting me on Patreon, or you can grab yourself an awesome and original t-shirt design, God in Glass. Links below in the description box. As always though, I've been Mr. H. Thank you so much for watching. Take care.